Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're finally going to do that Led Zeppelin discography ranking all 9 albums, including Coda, from the worst to the best. Of course, Zeppelin has no worst album. They're all masterpieces in their own unique way, and this list changed so much throughout the time I was doing it. So, if you take anything away from this video, just know, if you ask me a month from now, or even a week from now, this list could be completely different. Because Zeppelin is one of those albums where I love every single album almost equally. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. And it took me like 10 minutes to even come up with this list after re-listening to all the albums. And I actually do own this greatest hits set of Zeppelin. I bought this at a record store. And a lot of these albums I got from record stores and antique stores. But anyways, coming at number 9, I'm going to go with Coda. And that was just an album filled with leftover tracks that didn't make other Zeppelin albums. It's not horrible, but they definitely have better albums than that one. And the leftover tracks, some of them, I guess you could make the case, they're not that memorable, they're not that unique. But I do still enjoy listening to Coda. It's just my least favorite Zeppelin album. My favorite song off that album would definitely be Walter's Walk or Ozone Baby. But of course, it also has We're Gonna Groove, Poor Tom, I Can't Quit You Baby, Darlene, Bonzo's Money Tricks, I think I said that, and Wearin' and Tearin'. Like I said, not horrible, just prefer other Zeppelin albums over it. Okay, so coming in at number 8, Presence. I love this album. Any album that's got Achilles' Last Stand, For Your Life, and Candy Store Rock, that's a fantastic album right there with just those 3 songs. But of course, you also got Royal Orleans, Nobody's Fault But Mine, Hot Song for Nowhere, and T for One. This is a fantastic album. I do prefer other Zeppelin albums over it, but it's still really, really good. And ask me in a few days, it might rank a little higher, because I really do love this album. It kind of paid me to rank it at number 8. And we don't even have to talk about what legendary musicians Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones, Robert Plant, and John Bonham were. I mean, we don't even have to waste time talking about that, because everyone knows those fellers, legendary musicians. People still replicate their styles to this day, especially John Bonham. He influenced like a entire generation, multi-generational eras of drummers. And you could say that with any of the members of Zeppelin, because they're just that influential. And you could say that they stole songs, or whatever you think about that. I'm not going to get into that here, but I still love Presence, even though it's coming in number 8. I do wish the album cover is a little better, though. Just the family having dinner. I mean, that's kind of a strange album cover. And my favorite song off this album is Achilles' Last Stand. That's a top 10 Zeppelin song for me. Coming in at number 7, Houses of the Holy. I love this album too. So you got the kids climbing up the... I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Is that like a temple or something? Or I'm not really sure what they're climbing up. But you open up the gatefold of the vinyl, and you got the kid with the guitar. I'm not sure if you can see that. And hopefully YouTube doesn't age restrict the video because of the album cover. That'd be unfortunate. But Houses of the Holy, it's got The Song Remains the Same, The Rain Song, Over the Hills and Far Away, one of my all-time favorites, The Crunch, Dancing Days, Dire Maker, No Quarter, my favorite song of this album. I love No Quarter so much. The Ocean, and what more could you want? I mean, maybe Houses of the Holy, the title track that was excluded from this album, which we'll talk about that later. But I just love the amount of experimentation that Zeppelin had in albums. Like, I guess you could say it really started in Zeppelin 3, where they really started experimenting with a lot of different styles, while also keeping that as trademark Zeppelin sound. It's really impressive when you think about it. And I'm not going to really dive into the sounds of these albums, because everyone knows what Zeppelin sounds like, even in their very unique, the unique styles they took on and tried to do, which I think they did fantastic jobs trying to do different things and experimentation. I guess some people could say that they didn't, but did that even make sense? After I said that, I was like, what am I going on about? I hope that made sense. But basically, I'm just saying that I love Zeppelin's experimentation with their songs. So that's Houses of the Holy right here. Now, coming in at number 6, don't own Led Zeppelin 1, but that's coming in at number 6. You got Good Times, Bad Times, Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You, my favorite song off the album. You Shook Me, Dazed and Confused, Your Time Is Gonna Come, Black Mountainside, Communication Breakdown, I Can't Quit You Baby, and How Many More Times. This was Zeppelin still trying to find their trademark sound. You know, you can start to see them developing it, but that would really come into fruition in Zeppelin 2. Led Zeppelin 1, they're kind of more like a blues band, like a dark blues band. And I still love the album. I just think they have better albums than that one. And I know some people love that album and they'd probably rank it higher, but I'm going to rank it number 6 just because I think I really like when Zeppelin found their sound, because that one you can still tell that they're still trying to figure things out. But it's not a bad debut album at all. It's probably one of the best debut albums ever made. So that's going to sit at number 6. Now coming in at number 5, I actually own 2 copies of this album. I own the CD version and the vinyl version. I actually bought the CD version because I forgot I owned the vinyl version. And this is only $3 too. I found this in an antique store for $3. I also found presents too for really cheap. So I was not going to pass up on buying Zeppelin 4 on CD. Because it literally was $3. I mean, even though I do own the vinyl one, I still had to have this one because it was $3. Am I really going to pass up on buying Zeppelin 4 if it's only $3? No, I'm not. But you got... did I show the back of the album? I don't think I showed the back, but in case I didn't show the back of the vinyl, the front with the man with the sticks. But track listings on here. If I wanted the track listing for this one, I'd have to open the vinyl up. Oh, I didn't realize there was a gatefold. Whoops. I didn't even realize that was a gatefold. I forgot about that. Sorry about that. But anyways, this one's got Black Dog, Rock and Roll, The Battle of Evermore, Stairway to Heaven, Misty Mountain Hop, sorry, not Top, Four Sticks, Going to California, and Levee Breaks. Love every single song off this album. It's a classic album for a reason. I just think Zeppelin has better albums than this one. And Stairway to Heaven is definitely my favorite off this album. Ask me, like, when I first started really getting into Zeppelin, I probably would have told you Black Dog was my favorite, because I didn't really like Stairway when I first heard it. I love it now, but back then I probably would have told you Black Dog. But Stairway to Heaven is going to be my all-time favorite for today. It very well could change, because I really do love this album a lot. It's a classic album for a reason, but I prefer other albums over it. And here's some trivia for you. The reason why they left this album untitled was because Led Zeppelin 3 was not critically acclaimed, which I find that a crime, because I loved Led Zeppelin 3, as you're going to hear about soon. I love Zeppelin 3. I don't get the hate for it. I really don't. But that's why they left this untitled. Which they kind of did that to themselves, because the album, the band who had Led Zeppelin 1, 2, and 3, oh look, it's Led Zeppelin 4! I mean, they pretty much put themselves in that corner no matter what was going to happen. Because if you're naming it just after the band, yeah, people were automatically going to call this Zeppelin 4, so I don't really get what they accomplished by leaving it untitled. They kind of messed up on that one. Now, number 4 is extremely underrated. People don't talk about this album enough, and that is In Through the Outdoor. It comes in a little brown paper bag. I actually took it out of the brown paper bag so I could show you the inside. So, there you go. That's the thing that holds the disc right there. And this is the booklet. But I just love this album. This was Zeppelin really coming into the 80s. And I would have loved to have seen like a whole decade of Zeppelin music in the 80s. Sadly, John Bonham passed away and they broke up. But I would have loved to have heard it because I love the keyboard work on this album. And I, of course, if you've been watching this channel for a long time, you know I love 80s rock and metal. That's my favorite decade for music. So if you had Zeppelin modernized for the 80s, of course I'd rank that whole decade above the 70s, as controversial as that may be, just because I love 80s sounding metal and keyboards. That might sound too extreme for some people, but I love 80s sounding metal. And when you got tracks like In the Evening, love that guitar riff. Favorite song of the album, by the way. Southbound, is it Sares? I think it's Sares. Fool in the Rain, Hot Dog, Kara Sombra. I'm sorry, I'm bad at pronouncing things. All My Love and I'm Gonna Crawl. Every single song on this album, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Here's the front, here's the back, in case I didn't show it. I think I did. And of course, that's what the actual album looks like. Right there. That's what it looks like when you take it out of the brown paper bag. And I wish more bands had, like, unique packaging like this one. And especially my number 1, which had unique packaging. I just wish all albums had unique packaging for, being something new. Like, one could come in a brown paper bag. I always wanted, like, an album to come in, like, a treasure chest or something. Like, getting some buried treasure. That'd be really cool. And we're jumping genres here, but Psy, who, if you don't know who Psy is, he's best known for Gangnam Style. But he also made rap music. But he had, like, this very unique packaging for one of his albums, where it was, like, this metallic can. And you pop the can open, and then there's, like, these little cards inside that give you the lyrics and tell you what the songs are with unique artwork. And then at the very bottom of it is the actual disc. It's very unique packaging. And I just wish more artists and bands had unique packaging for every one of their albums. It'd be a really cool concept. Probably would cost a little bit too much, but I'd love to see it. Now, coming in at number 3, Led Zeppelin 3. Funny how that one worked out. I love this album. People hate on Led Zeppelin 3, say it's horrible. I don't get that at all. I love Led Zeppelin 3. I don't care what anyone says. I rank it above 4 because I guess I'm just that guy to rank it above 4. But I just love it. How could you not love an album that has the Immigrant Song, Friends, Celebration Day, Since I've Been Loving You, Out on the Tile is my favorite song on that album, Gallows Pole, Tangerine, That's the Way, Braun Your Stomp, I think it's how you say that, and Hats Off to Roy Harper. How can you not love that album? I get it if you like 4 more, but people hate on Zeppelin 3 so much. I see it all the time. Super underrated along with In Through the Outdoor, but I love Zeppelin 3. I love the acoustic work on that album. A really, really cool album. I think now people are finally learning to appreciate it, because at the time people did not like it. I definitely would have liked it if I heard it all the way back then. It wasn't live, but I would have loved it back then if I heard it. Because like I said, any album that's got Immigrant Song and Out on the Tiles, how can you not love that album? It's just, how? I'm really questioning how people hate on that album so much. Maybe they don't like the acoustic stuff on it, but there's acoustic stuff on Led Zeppelin 4, so I don't really get that complaint, really, but I love Led Zeppelin 3. If you take anything away from this video, know that I love Led Zeppelin 3. So for the people out there who love Led Zeppelin 3, you're welcome. And now, coming in at number 2, Led Zeppelin 2. Funny how that one worked out as well, huh? So you got a whole lot of love, What Is It and What Should Have Never Been. Did I add a have in there? It should be What Is and What Should Never Be. I think I added a have in there. The Lemon Song, which I used to despise that song. I do like it now. But when I first heard this album, I hated the Lemon Song. I did not like that song at all. Got Thank You, Heartbreaker, my favorite song on the album. Living, Loving Maid, She's Just a Woman, Ramble On, Moby Dick, and Bring It On Home. A masterpiece, just like the rest of the Zeppelin albums, and it's coming in number 2 because I love it, love it, love it. It would be my number 1 if my number 1 didn't exist, which it's hard to beat number 1 just because of how massive it is. And I don't want to skip over talking about Led Zeppelin 2 though, because it's fantastic. This was Zeppelin finally finding their sound, and boy, did that inspire multi-generations of artists and people all around the globe. You could say they stole songs and, well, stole bits and pieces of other people's songs for their own, which I'm not going to get into that whole controversy. We'll save that for maybe a different video or something. I'm not sure. But Zeppelin 2, what can I say? Classic album. If you've never heard the Zeppelin or any of these albums, really start with Zeppelin 2, and then you can go to Zeppelin 4. I would say I would go with Zeppelin 2, then check out Zeppelin 4, and then do Zeppelin 3, and then Zeppelin 1. At least that's how I would get. If someone who's unfamiliar with Zeppelin, that's the order I would pick for them. But I love this album. What can I say? I keep saying that over and over, but it's true. I love the album. It's so good. How can you not love this? But of course, everyone knows what my number 1 is by now. If you've been watching this channel forever, you know I love this album. And that's Physical Graffiti, which is this album right here. But I actually took it apart. This is what the actual album looks like, right here. Usually these would be inside of it, but I took that part out just so I could show you what it looked like when you took the pieces of vinyl out. And then here's the track list right here. But any album with this much experimentation and this many songs, a double album, has to be at number 1 because it's basically all of the Zeppelin styles you love in one album. You've got Custard Pie, The Rover, my all-time favorite Zeppelin song. I love The Rover. I said The Rover. The Rover, you put that song on any time, it's probably one of that's an all-time, probably my second favorite song of all time after Man on the Silver Mountain. Because that would be number 1. And then The Rover, I'd say Man on the Silver Mountain is my number 1 song of all time, but number 2 would be The Rover. I love The Rover. You put that song on for me, I'd just be instantly happy, because I love The Rover. In My Time of Dying, Houses of the Holy, the song that should have been on Houses of the Holy, but they excluded it because they didn't think it would fit the album, which I disagree with that. I think they could have slotted it in. Trampled Underfoot, Kashmir, legendary song. All these are legendary songs. In the Light, Braun Your Oar, hope I said that right. Down by the Seaside, 10 Years Gone, Night Flight, The Wanton Song, Boogie with Stu, Black Country Woman, and Sick Again. This is one of my all-time favorite albums of all time. It's a top 10 album for me. I love Physical Graffiti. I could put this on any day of the week and just be I love it. Never get tired of hearing this album. It's an experience from song 1 to the end, and this is my all-time favorite Zeppelin album. You can see me through it. But usually these would be inside of it. I just took them out so I could show you like the different artwork, because it is different. I'm not sure if you can see any of that, but it has unique artwork on it, so I wanted to showcase that. And there's a cat right there. Right there. There's also a dog on one of them, which I don't remember. I think it's this one has the dog? Has the girl with the dog? Yeah, this one has the girl with the dog on it. Right there. But there is unique artwork for it. I just wanted to showcase that off because not many people talk about the packaging of that album. Which, like I said, I wish every band had unique packaging for every single album. It'd just be so cool. I understand that most bands probably don't want to go to that trouble, but it'd be a welcome addition. I would welcome it. But there you have it. My Zeppelin discography ranking. Everyone's going to have a different list for this because we all hear these albums differently. If you disagree with me, that's perfectly fine. Just leave yours down in the comments down below. And I really didn't dive deep into the sounds of the album because everyone knows what Zeppelin sounds like. And even when they did experimentation, it all had that Zeppelin charm to it, if that makes sense. So I didn't really feel the need to like really dive deep into what every album sounded like. Yeah, I'm sorry if that's what some of you wanted me to do, but I mean, it's kind of like doing one on Slipknot. They kept their sound, but they did a lot of experimentation. It's kind of like that. And that's how I feel with Zeppelin. So that's why I really didn't dive deep into what the actual sounds of the album were. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I will look, in the future, I will look forward to adding Zeppelin 1, Zeppelin 3, and Coda to my album collection. Because I do have a bunch of albums now. I'm actually running out of space to put my CDs on my shelves. I'll have to do something about that. And I have a bunch of vinyls too. But at the end of the year, I'll just showcase all the CDs and vinyls that I bought and talk about them. That'd be like a huge, massive video. Hope you enjoyed the video. And make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you fellas in the next video. See you later.